children get abducted every year. Why do so many go missing? Well, most of them are by the second parent or a family member, and the least of them are from strangers. And going into this speech, I did not know that. I thought more were from strangers than family members. Kids do not understand the outcome of wandering off and not staying with their family, and even though they're in their younger years and don't necessarily keep beside their parent because they do want to wander off, they do want to go have fun, and their parent wants them to stay there for certain reasons, and the child does not get that, and it's not the child's fault and it's not the parent's fault. People need to become more aware. People need to go to schools and make PowerPoints and make them understand more or less what is their consequence for not being able to wander off and let their family let them wander off, and not be able to stay close to their family when they're on a playground. They want to go to the other playground and where their parents can't see them. This is one of the little mistakes out of multiple little mistakes that parenting people could make. It is not about bad parenting. It is not that the parent is a bad parent. It is just the fact that the timing is wrong. The timing to have them at a playground right after you've had a big argument with your ex-husband who is their father, and you want them to go to a playground where they know that the husband knows that they're going, and the husband goes to abduct them. That's bad timing. Every 40 seconds, a child is abducted. 80% are by strangers within the first contact of a quarter mile of their house. 800,000 per year are abducted, and only 115 of them are non-family. And this is a big point because that means that there are so many per day, that I think 20,000 per day that are actually abducted, and that is a lot that we need to be aware about. People think that children don't get abducted as much as they did back then, but they still get abducted, whether it be from a family member or from a stranger, and it's still as serious as a stranger, even if it's a family member, because normally those situations don't work out for a reason. So if the child does get abducted from, an ex-husband or their father, it could still be for the same reasons as if a stranger was to abduct them. Now, after the abduction by a stranger, you are set at a time limit of 24 hours, which most people normally know when their child is abducted. So I don't understand why they set a limit where you cannot report it within 48 hours. And I know that some people say that, your child could have just walked off by themselves and they'll be found down the road playing at their friend's house or something. But even if it is good enough to go up there as soon as you figure out that your child is abducted and you notice that they're abducted, go up there and go ahead and tell them and let them put out some kind of search. So even if they are at a family member's house, you can find them right away instead of wait 48 hours to find them and then possibly be dead, because 74% of the children that are abducted are dead within 3 hours of being abducted. Now, an ABC article states that 3 women that were abducted 10 years ago, even though they did not die within 24 hours, one of them broke free after 10 years of being abducted and told them where the other 2 were held captive for 10 years. And I could not imagine how hard it was for that child to grow up in a strange environment by somebody that was constantly abusing them mentally and physically and hurting that child within 10 years of their lifespan, and how broken they could be. So this is a very big thing in the world that we need to be aware about and need to make more awareness of. So I think that the end result of it is for us to make big projects to where little kids understand, even though, you know, parents tell them all the time, we still have to make it where little kids understand the concept, even at the age of 3 or 4, not to go wandering off. And if they're playing in the backyard and their dog gets out, not to go after it, or not to go to their friend's house without people knowing that they're going to their friend's house. Or if the marriage is broken up and the dad comes by and mommy just has to be in the bathroom, don't go outside with the dad just because of the family issues. And I want to restate that millions of children go missing within a year, and it is a very important cause that we keep this on people's radar and don't let this die down. Even if you don't have children, always look out for Amber Alerts. Always look out for what they're driving and where they are and who they are, and just be understanding that if that was your child, you would want to find them. So don't think that just because they come up to the police station and they're frantic and, oh, well, the child's just down the street. Well, even if the child's just down the street, you have to put yourself in their shoes and think what they would think if their child is missing just randomly. Even if it comes down to the point where they're actually missing, it really is a big concept that within 24 hours they could be dead. Within 3 hours, 74% of them are dead. And even though it might seem childish for a lot of people, within 2 hours of them missing, come up to the police station and say, well, my child's been missing for 2 hours. It's the awareness of the parent, and that actually makes them a better parent. And just to restate, this doesn't make you a bad parent because your child does go missing. It just is the little mishaps, like little mistakes of turning around at the grocery store knowing there's other people around you and you're in a big crowd, or looking the other way at a fair so your child could wander off. Even if they're not missing or abducted, they could wander off and go missing or get abducted. And just be cautious if you are in a family argument and they do want your child. Just be cautious of where you go and where they know that you are going to go, because that means it's a bigger risk for them to get abducted, and it's a bigger risk for you to have to go through all this pain that you wouldn't have to go through if you just thought a little bit smarter. And I feel like this is a very good subject for a lot of people to talk about, not just in speeches, not just in schools, but everywhere, all over the world. And no matter who you are or how old you are, if you have a kid or not, it's very important to know that when the Amber Alerts go out, it's not just another text message that you get. It's not just another, oh, well, there's another kid missing. It's very important that that family gets comfort and gets peace from it.